We've got to put fuel in.
Hello everyone, welcome to the V8 Supercars, V8 America's Furious Friday race at Suzuka. This is Friday evening in the US, and it is in Saturday afternoon in Australia on Valentine's Day. So probably missing a few romantics today, but we've got a good field lined up. We have Chastity's qualified on pole. He's beaten Paul Young by 1/1000th of a second to take pole position. So Paul Young's joined him on the front row. Paul's just missing on pole by 1/1000th of a second. But we've seen guys starting from position 2 on the grid get off to very good starts all week. So let's see what happens here. Chastity's obviously having an amazing time at the moment. He's chasing his 7th win in a row in the Gen 3 cars and the 3rd win in a row for this particular track. Chastity has got off to a great start, held off Paul Young, so that 1/1000th advantage in the qualifying has held him in good stead. I wonder if Paul will be able to maintain that 1/1000th a lap difference for the remainder of the race to stay close to Chastity. He raced Chastity yesterday, couldn't quite keep up with Chastity's pace. Maybe there's some sign of improvement. We've seen some drivers improve for today, yesterday, most notably Peter Vandenberg, who had a quiet race yesterday, but now we can see he's showing much greater pace today and starting the race very nicely in up to 3rd place. We have Stacey Boyd in 4th. He's been racing very consistently of late as well. Darryl Callahan further up the field in that M1 machine. Roy Clark also well placed early on. The field seems to be doing very well early on in this race, keeping it nice and clean throughout. So we just go to the front of the field and we'll see Chastity just opening up that comfortable margin already as he goes around the spoon and enters the back straight. So Chastity this is round 9 of the Furious Friday series. Chastity is leading by quite a margin as he's won 6 out of the 8 races so far. And this looks like number 7 out of 9. He does not often get beaten from this point. So all interests will be in the minors and the podium, and the rest of the field, because lots of guys are going to have some great battles through the field, and we'll really focus on those today as we watch Chastity just race away with this. Paul Young, there's a chance to keep him in sight, but my prediction is there may be a 5-second gap by the end or more. You already see Paul has a bit of a pace advantage over Peter Vandenberg and Stacey Boyd. Nice little pack development here with Ryan Nilsson, Jay Grazier and Matt Morris. I think it won't take long to see Matt Morris round up these 4 cars in front of him. I believe he has quite a pace advantage in front of those 4 cars. It's going to get a bit spicy around here. It's a bit hard to hold on the outside for Ryan Nilsson. Can he keep it on the track? He's done well there. Maintain the inside line into the spoon. Not easy to do. It's left Jay Brazier exposed to Matt Morris. Jay might get more drive from over there than Matt does. Jay slips in behind as they head down to 130R. So my early prediction is Matt Morris currently in 8th. I predict he'll make his way into third by the end of the race. Let's see how I go with that prediction. Looks like Darryl Callahan creating a little bit of a train behind him at the moment. Roy Clark just biding his time. Roy's teammate Ryan Nielsen. We're not going to push Roy too hard either. So Matt Morris has a brick wall in front of him at the moment, but I'm sure he'll work his way through. See if he can do it patiently and just pick those right moments. Drivers are going very nicely at the moment. I'm not sure Ryan's going to come out of that too well, going wide around the hairpin. I stand corrected. He's got up the inside of Roy. Very hard to maintain your grip around there, but they're all driving very well, keeping off each other but racing very, very tightly. Some great nose to tail through there. Matt Morris actually decided to stay out of that and watch those three in front of him have a bit of fun, but they're keeping it together quite well. Quite fun to watch. Looks like Darryl's gone wide. He might see all three go through on him here. Just Roy at this stage. Let's expose Ryan Nielsen to Matt Morris, and Matt Morris is some side-by-side action here. They're going to have to be careful. Can end in tears if they keep doing this for too long, as we've seen a few times this week. It seems like the Suzuka track does provide some opportunities for some side-to-side racing if you're good enough. How aggressive will Matt be into the hairpin? Oh, Ryan sent it wide. It's opened the door wide open there for Matt there and made it very easy. Jay had to think about it, but thought better of it. Prefer to maintain his grip around this slippery right-hander. So while these guys are dacing away, Jay Brazier's managed to stick with them. It's probably a similar pace to a lot of this group. Ross Rizzo is a very highly rated driver, so you can see him making his way through these guys in front as well once he finds his rhythm around the track. Alan Nielsen got a good result on the Thursday Thunder yesterday. He's backed up again today, so no doubt further improved as he gets a better feel of the track. We see a lot of this team, don't we? They all look fantastic liveries, this team. A bit of variety amongst them, but every one of their cars just looks fantastic. Obviously, with being Chastity's teammates, all gives them a bit of a boost too. They're part of the winning team. We'll check on Chastity soon, but we can see on the timing chart there that Paul Young is sticking right with him. We'll certainly check on that soon. I wonder if Chastity's having a walk in the park or Paul has found some form in that 24 hours from yesterday. Eamon Brown. He's having a good look at Andrew Ritchie here, as is Adrian Mills. We saw him turned around at the hairpin in a race earlier in the week in the last lap, and he's in a position to do the turning around this time. I'm sure he won't do that. It's Rob Baxter. This is a bloke I've really noticed improving of late. Seems to work very hard on his racing, and I see some impressive race results and certainly some good times from Rob of late. So 15th out of 26 in this field is travelling quite well. Certainly being in front of Christian Dubuisseau is not something I would have expected. So obviously Rob's going very well, or Christian's working his way back through the field. So I'd certainly have Christian in the top 10 in this field. Let's see how long he stays in behind Rob. I don't think it'll be long. Christian's now the leader in the Thursday Thunder Series after a good race yesterday. So it's a bit surprising to see him back. I'm not sure whether it was qualifying or an early incident that's got him back here. He's got a good run on Rob coming into the home straight, and it's got him covered quite easily. Which is not unexpected. Doesn't mean Rob's going slow, just that Christian's quite quick. Quite a gap back to Ross Watson and Carter Toole. Carter Toole from the United States. Now, as I mentioned before, this is the V8 Americas race. So we've got a few Americans in here. It's mainly Australians and a few New Zealanders, because it's quite a convenient time on Saturday afternoon in Australia, Friday night in America. But we'll see. There's Jacob Wilson, another driver from the US. It's great to see the guys from the US racing in this series, and they are the bedrock for this Thursday Thunder race and Furious Friday. There's one bloke that gets right behind him and makes it happen, and he is in this race. We'll talk about him shortly. Another North American in Ivan Hinku from Canada. Got a couple of Canadians in here. Christian's also from Canada, and we don't see Cam Porter here tonight. He's the usual Canadian that's in these races. He's having a night off. He races many times during the week across all different classes. It's Peter Simons. Always love seeing Pete's livery here. Regular competitor. He's found a lot of space on his own here in the early stage of the race. Here's Jordan Bull. Jordan's just starting out in the V8 Supercars. He's got the right attitude. I can see him improving quickly. He seems to really enjoy them, and he'll be having great fun doing everything he can not to finish at the back of the pack. And he's in front of a few at the moment, and I imagine he's very happy with that and will work hard to maintain that. Here's Mike Bazine. He's the man behind the V8 America Series, which sort of make these Thursday night, Friday night races in America happen. He's worked on that for years and years and been quite successful. It's a successful series, and he puts a lot of work into it. And for these races to go official with good fields is quite a good achievement. And Mike has played the major role in making that. So well done, Mike, and hopefully he's enjoying his race tonight. He's well back at the moment, but I can see him settling into some routine and putting on a good show. Poor old Michael Maxfield. That car does not look healthy. He's back in last place because we have one competitor, Louis Vasquez, has retired. So Michael's at the back of the field with his injured-looking Camaro. All right, let's check on the front of the field. We haven't been there for a while. We've seen a lot of Chastity this week, and we can see Chastity is only just in front of Paul Young. This is a fantastic improvement by Paul Young to give his... I think they're teammates, or they used to be teammates. They certainly race a lot together. I'm not sure if Paul's... Oh, Chastity has made a rare mistake. I can't believe I've caught that. That's great. Is he going to battle on? Paul had his chance to not quite take it. Chastity is not going to let that lead go, but I can't recall too many mistakes from Chastity. We just witnessed one, and Paul has got tremendous drive off that turn. Maybe Chastity's tyres are a bit warm after that slide. Great work by Paul Young. We really have a race on here. He hasn't quite got in front of you. Chastity's got the advantage into the spoon. Will Paul be out? And Paul's gone way too wide, so he's going to lose a bit of ground there, is he? Because Chastity's got the right line to get the good drive off there, but he'll have to leave Paul a bit of room, as he does. And they'll have a drag race down the back straight into 130R. I didn't expect this level of excitement at the front of the field today, but I'm very thankful for it. Into 130R, some late braking. Can he keep it on? Yeah, so they're probably going a bit slow through there as they battle, but there's no risk of third place between them, so these guys can battle it out as much as they like, and no one's going to catch them in this race unless there's a big mistake. I wonder if this is a bit like wrestling, that they're putting on a show. I don't think so, but it's great to see anyway. Because yes, Chastity certainly had Paul Young's measure by a margin yesterday, but Paul's obviously worked hard. He's obviously a V8 fan. He showed me some photos of some cars that he owns, and they are fantastic. He owns some V8 monsters. Has a lot of fun driving this V8 monster. Not sure Chastity will give him another chance. Like I said, Chastity doesn't make too many mistakes. Maybe he's meant to be out for Valentine's Day lunch and he's feeling a bit guilty. Not quite concentrating. I don't know. I think we have a good battle happening for third place. Let's have a look at that, see how... Yeah, I think Chastity's going to get through the sprint. Okay, look, Paul seems to be doing slightly better. Just stay with this for the run down the back straight into 130R. See if Paul's got a good enough run. It's quite possible he's a better run here. This could get a bit spicy into the chicane. Let's go back to the battle for third. We see Stacey Boyd has got in front of Peter Vandenberg. So that's something we missed. So Stacey's found his pace and is actually pulling a little bit of margin on Peter. So they're in a build of their own. It's a long, long way back to Matt Morris in 5th place. And as expected, he has moved past Roy Clark. And oh, see, Ross Rizzo's making lots of ground too. So it was Roy Clark with Ryan Nielsen and Max Wolf's making some ground. So there's been a bit of action back here. So we see Max Wolf versus Ryan Nielsen here. This is going to say Max is making ground on Ryan Nielsen at the moment. So he's going to look for a way by. Let's go check on what's happening at here. So we see Matt Morris, my prediction for third, or my original prediction for third. But now that I see Ross Rizzo charging, he might be a candidate for third. So Stacey Boyd's in third at the moment for Peter Vandenberg. They have quite a margin from Matt Morris and Ross Rizzo. But let's keep an eye on these two because I really feel they'll be able to get up there for the battle for that podium finish. And it might come down to a four-way battle for that third position. I think the first two are pretty well sorted out, but it's going to be a great battle for third. I don't think Roy Clark, these guys are probably battling for about 5th or 6th. So Alan Nielsen's making good ground on Darryl Callahan as well. So there has certainly been some movement in this first third of the race. So we're going to see cars start coming into the pits now at lap 9 of this 19-lap race. Let's go to the front of the field, see if they're coming in. Both of them are coming into the pits now. So Chastity is very aggressive on pit entries. How was he go this time? It's a bit smoother than we saw yesterday, where both of these guys actually slid into the pits. They learnt, obviously fast learners, they did a lot more smoothly today. We see Stacey Boyd has also come into the pits. So we see first, second, third, all into the pits, as well as Matt Morris. So Roy Clark has stayed out. So who has taken the lead of this race? Peter Vandenberg's going to get to have that joy of being the race leader for a while. Will he stay out for a lap or two to get those that thrill of leading this Furious Friday race at Suzuka in this quite a good field? Ross Rizzo stayed out with him. He'll enjoy that bit of space to make further ground in his quest to get to third place. And Roy Clark also. Let's go back to see how the boys come out of the pits. So Chastity's come out with quite the margin on Paul Young. So Chastity's had a lot more efficient pit stop. Whether that's less fuel or more luck with the tyre change, I'm not sure. But Chastity has proven himself, especially last week at Sebring, that he is the ultimate fuel saver. So I'd imagine in that first stint he was saving a bit of fuel, and he's had to put less fuel in, and that has given this slight advantage over Paul Young. Paul Young is a renowned not loving fuel saving, so that may explain the difference. But let's see if he can work his way back up to Chastity's tail to keep this race for the victory a bit interesting. So we go Stacey Boyd coming over on tail ender, Carter Tool. Will he be able to get by him around the spoon, or will he be held up? Looks a little held up at this point. Remember, Stacey's in third place. He can't afford to lose any ground because he's got a lot of guys bearing down on him for this podium. So he's not really doing him any favours, that little loss of time there, stuck in behind Carter. He's lost momentum all the way down the straight here to 130R. He's going to be able to take the right line into 130R and start moving away. A bit unlucky for Stacey there on the timing of catching up with Carter. And Matt Morris would have made big ground on Stacey during that process. Obviously he has to get past Carter shortly, but Matt Morris is charging towards third place on this podium. And remember, Ross Rizzo is in this battle as well. Ross hasn't taken his pit stop yet. He's going to use that free air and come home with the fresher tyres. So let's go to the front of the field. Here's Ross. Has a big lead in front now. Oh yes, Max Wolf is a lap down, so that's why he was battling in there before. He's a lap down, so there we saw Adrian Mills. And there's Chastity. He's come out, so it's only a couple of guys, Ross Rizzo and Adrian Mills, that haven't pitted yet out of the leading contenders. Paul's not dropping any ground. He'll hold his own. Now Stacey, where is Stacey Boyd compared to Peter Vandenberg? He's come out not far behind Stacey. That's effective third and fourth on the track. Here's Carter Tool. Looks like Matt Morris is going to meet him at the same part of the track as Stacey did on the previous lap. Will he have any more luck getting past him? Or will he get held up in the spoon in the same way Stacey did and lose that bit of momentum for the back straight? This is deja vu. The same thing. So that's what evens it up. The same issue that Stacey came across. Carter's under no obligation to move out of their way. He hasn't pitted yet. They are fighting for position. So Carter is well entitled to hold his lines. But Matt has got past. Not too many problems there. Now he'll set out after Peter Vandenberg and Stacey Boyd. It's going to be interesting. But remember, Ross Rizzo is in this battle as well. And we'll wait and see where Ross comes out of these pits. Here he is. Let's see where he comes out. Will he come out in front or behind Matt Morris or right next to him? There's Matt, there's Ross, and the battle lines have been drawn. We can now see the battle for the podium. Let's just address that. So we go Stacey, Peter Vanderberg, Matt Morris, Ross Rizzo. That's where the main interest is in this race, unless Paul Young can produce some sort of miracle and get up the chassis. But let's see what other action's happening in the race. See, Roy Clark's got a small margin on Ryan Nilsson, but yes, that's certainly not settled. They may exchange a few blows before the end. And Jay Brazier has found some bit of spare space, so Jay will be looking to have a clean race from here. Sometimes he doesn't always get to run the clean race, so he'd enjoy it if he can bring it home with a fully clean race. Darryl Callahan and Alan Nilsson are going to be battling here. It's good to see an M1 car in Strength of Field Racing. They've got a few team members, but they've all disappeared. I don't see them anymore. I think they're hidden away in some strange place. Mike was in. He's back in 24th and quite a few laps down, so he may have had an issue or two. Andrew Ritchie seems to be enjoying a lot of space before and after. Rob Baxter. Yeah, that's a good effort for Rob to be going with Andrew Ritchie. That's certainly a sign of the improvement he's making. See Raymond Brown getting attacked by Christian. Christian's still well back. I'm quite surprised by this, so he'll make a move into the final chicane here on Raymond. Let's fingers crossed this goes smoothly. Yeah, Raymond's actually defended that very well. Kept Christian at bay. Cool. Looks like that's Mike Bazin. He's given it the way for the day. Peter Simon's still going around. Let's check on Jordan. Has he got a few behind him? And Jordan's objective is not to finish last. And he seems to have a few drivers behind him. Well, he's got one close in Ross Watson. That'll be his challenge to beat Ross. All the other drivers are a few laps down. So Ross is the challenge for Jordan to hold out. I think Ross is a bit more experienced than Jordan. As I mentioned, I think Jordan's on the improvement curve and improving very quickly. Back to the front. How's Chastity going?
No, I got the wrong setup in against a brother and team qualified, I think. Everything I'm going to do just to keep it on the track.
There we go, 10-second break from Paul Young back to Stacey Boyd and Peter Vanderberg. We could hear in the background there Matt Morris complaining that he hasn't got the right setup. Obviously not using one of the free ones I provide for everyone to use. Yeah, someone should get on to Matt to let him know about PVDK V8 setups and the Discord where you'll find free setups and free demo laps. These cars are a bugger to drive if you got the wrong setup in, but they're an absolute joy to drive once you get that set right. Sometimes the slightest setup adjustments can really change the handling characteristics of the car. You can change just the right thing at the right time, and you lose that back-end snap that you can quite often get in these cars. And sometimes people think these cars are hard to control because they keep losing their rear end, but it might be 1, 2 or 3 different things that you've got slightly tuned wrong. If you tune into my PVDK V8s setups, you'll get setups that really manage those issues. So there's the ad for the day. But someone should tell Matt Morris. So we can see the gap between these four is squeezing up. Stacey's got a second over Peter Vandenberg, who has a second over Ross Rizzo, who has a second over Matt Morris. I can see all these four guys coming together and having a lot of fun. We've got five and a bit laps to go, and that's perfectly poised. Here's Roy and Ryan racing together. Jay and Adrian Mills close together. Darryl Callahan is on his own now. See Andrew Ritchie. So you can see Rob Baxter behind him. Yep, Rob going well. Christian still hasn't got past Raymond Brown, so Raymond Brown obviously defending very well. I believe Christian probably has the pace. He just cannot get past. So Carter Tool going quite well, so he's made his pit stop now and is in front of quite a few drivers. So I think he's performing very well. He can see an I rating of 1.1. He's certainly performing above that I rating level. See Ross has got in front of Jordan now. That leaves Jordan as the last car on the lead lap, but he still has Alan Nilsson and Michael Maxfield in behind him and a few retirees. So here's, well, we can definitely see Paul Young has made a bit of ground on Chastity. Will they make it interesting at the end of the race? But Paul is definitely making ground on Chastity here. So there is some interest at the front of the field. How's Stacey going? He's extended his lead by quite a margin on Peter Vandenberg. Peter's under attack now from Ross Rizzo, who has got... I think Peter Vandenberg's number's up here. Ross has got it, and it won't be long before the move is made. And Matt Morris, despite having a setup he's not happy with, he may do the same. But while this is going on, Stacey's getting the gap he needs to claim that podium position. These guys are losing valuable ground on him while they sort themselves out. Looks like Ross means business into turn one. Not much defence put up by Peter Vandenberg on that one. As Ross now really make a charge out after Stacey. He's got to make up 3 seconds in 3 laps. It's a tough ask, but not out of the question. Now can Peter Vandenberg hold off Matt Morris? It appears probably not at this point. Peter's done very well. These guys got an I rating of over 1,000 greater than Peter Vandenberg. Like his I rating is around 4,000, which is certainly nothing to be sneezed at. But Ross Rizzo and Matt Morris are around that 5,000 mark, showing that they have a considerable pace advantage. Both experienced Supercars drivers, so it's not as if they got those I ratings in some other class of car. So what corner are we guessing Matt Morris gets Peter here? He's going to get him around the spoon. Peter, hold on to the right lines here. Yeah, looks pretty good. Handling of Matt Carr looks alright to me there. It's not easy to keep that line that he did there. Don't think he'll be passing a 130R, but very likely at the chicane with Hey, he lost ground around 130R. He's not going to be there this time round. Score check on Stacey v Ross. 3 seconds, now down to a bit over 2 seconds. So Ross is on pace to catch Stacey for that podium position. Might just stick with these guys until we get to the hairpin. Might be Matt's chance to get Peter Vanderberg. Just a couple more bends to get through, a couple of right-handers now, and then they'll be approaching the hairpin. Matt didn't go into that corner very well, but Peter had enough inferred pressure that he went way too wide. That was just inferred pressure because Matt did not go into that corner well at all, but he managed to get a lot tighter line and get the position he sought. So let's go forward to see how Ross Rizzo's going. He'll be going absolute flat chat because he's got Stacey Boyd in his sights. There's nothing better than having something to chase where you think you're half a chance to get there. And that's what Ross has in front of him at the moment. Now, Stacey's no slouch, but he's a 4,000 iRater. Ross Rizzo, a 5.5 thousand iRater. And that's a fair reflection of their respective abilities from what I've seen. So this gives Ross a chance to catch him. I'd love to see Stacey hold this podium position. He's going to have to work hard for it. It looks as though he may be stuck behind. Yeah, he's got behind Jordan at the moment. Might have been slightly balked. Jordan's got Will out of his way, so maybe there was no balking there. But it was an awkward spot because Jordan can't get out of his way through that chicane. But that's sort of brought Ross within 1 second with 2 laps to go. So it's going to be on. Let's check the front. How's Chastity and Paul Young going? Paul Young has got that ever bit closer. So this is a good race for the lead. Paul Young is probably going to get the steward's inquiry. So where did this improvement come from in 24 hours? He wasn't bad yesterday, but he was nowhere near this quick. So what have we got? We've got 1.5 laps to go, and Paul Young is right there. Is Chastity toying with him like a kitten and a ball of wool? Or is Paul charging like a man on a mission? On the break, Chastity's incredible winning streak. Like I said, Chastity's going for his 7th win in a row in the Gen 3 car, and the 3rd win in a row in this Furious Friday series.
How many times do you need to hit me there, right?
All good, boys.
Sounds like we've got a little troubles in the back of the field. Hopefully nothing too serious. Right, Paul right up on Chastity, getting just not quite close enough.
3 times in the race. Thank you.
Here we come for the white flag. 1 lap to go.
Thanks, Ross.
Ross Watson's kept right out of the way of the leaders. Very good work. You don't want to get in the way when they're fighting out in the last lap for the win in this Furious Friday race at Suzuka. The V8 Americas. A lovely way to spend your Saturday afternoon in Australia or New Zealand though. Let's just check quickly on his Stacey. He's got Ross right on his tail now. So we've got 2 battles to keep a very close eye on here. and might stay with this just for the moment, just to see how they go into the hairpin. Just a couple of turns away. It's all on the line here, the last lap. Ross has absolutely thrown it in the Degner curves down. He's got right up on Stacey now. He wants to give him a chance to get inside at this hairpin. Is he close enough? He's no, not quite there, but Stacey's going to have to hold it tight around this corner. He's got a bit wide. That does open the door for Ross slightly. But no, he's got a good drive out of there. Here we can see Chastity holding on around the spoon for the last time as Paul Young tries to line it up for a great drive down that final straight to see if he can make some ground on Chastity into 130R. Right, looks as though Chastity's taking that very well. Paul's just that little bit behind. I'm not sure he'll be able to do anything into the final chicane. No, looks like Chastity will take the victory.
What's that, Watto?
Quite well. Well done, very smooth through there. Great race between these two guys. Chastity for the win, Paul Young for second. Here we go. Looks like Stacey's holding off Ross Rizzo. That's a great drive by Stacey. He's just got to get this last bit right, and he'll take the podium third. An awesome driving, Stacey Boyd. He's held off a very, very fast driver in Ross Rizzo. So Stacey third, Ross fourth. Then Matt Morris coming home for fifth, in front of Peter Vanderberg in sixth place. What a great race. So Roy Clark's on a battle. Oh no, it looks like Ryan Nielsen's tried to get Roy, but he's lost control. Is he going to let anyone else through? Yes, there goes drivers. But yes, Ryan Nielsen threw it all on the line there for that final hairpin and lost control. You can see Daryl Callahan coming home in 11th. Andrew Ritchie coming home for 12th. Raymond Brown has managed to hold off Christian Dubrosseau, so that's some good solid driving by Raymond there to keep Christian at bay. Carter Tools driving very nicely for 15th. Jacob Wilkins 16th.
I had a front end.
Ivan Hinku coming out for 17. I'm not sure what's happened to Rob Baxter. He's seemed to have a bit of a mix-up there earlier with Raymond Brown.
Oh,
Alright.
Fucking joke, I know. Fucking my mistake.
There's the end of that race. Another exciting race for positions there. They're top-notch racing. I'll sign off there. I'll see you for the Manic Monday race on Monday.